Hello everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! I'm from Ohio. I'm here to bring you a video today and I hope you enjoy it while you're here with me. First off though, I would like to tell you that Stampin' Up! Is going to be offering free shipping tomorrow, April 19th. I had to think of the date for a minute. We are going to be offering free shipping for orders of $75 or more. That's in the U.S. Canada, it's $100 or more. And if you're in Canada, you need to order from a Canadian demonstrator. We do have to stay in our own regions. We cannot sell to other countries. So, with that being said, if you do not have a demonstrator here in the U.S. and you are in the U.S., I would love to be that demonstrator for you. And if you have ever thought about joining a direct sales team and just haven't done it and don't know the reason why you would want to do it or that type of thing, I would love to talk to you about it, because being a demonstrator is not about me. It's about you. And it's about the value it brings to you, what you can do, and just get a discount, if nothing else, for your own things. And that can be big when you're buying a lot of stamps, because we know it's not a cheap hobby. It's a fun hobby, but it's not cheap. And so being your own demonstrator sometimes is a great benefit to yourself. And then if you have a couple friends that stamp, you can bring them in on board with you. And it's just great. You know, you make new friends. You just get to be in a community that you all have something together. So if you ever thought about being that demonstrator and just haven't done it, please contact me. I would love to have you on my team, and it would just be a lot of fun. I can guarantee you that. So anyway, without further ado, just remember free shipping tomorrow on orders of $75 or more. If you do buy a lot of Stampin' Up! Products and you get inks, papers, ink refills, Tombow glue, the Stampin' Seal refills, there's several other things that are going up in price in the catalog May 2nd when it goes live. So tomorrow would be a good day to stock up on some of your favorite things like that and save a little money and save money on shipping too. So with all that done, we're going to make a card. When I turn the camera down, you will see my online store. You will see my host code for this month. If you would like to order from me, I would appreciate it, and that would be all your information. And you will see the PDF when I do my videos. I do videos every Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock on Eastern Standard Time on Facebook Live in my group Stamp Crazy VIP. And I also put a PDF of whatever card I'm doing into the files. I write out the directions. So you are more than welcome to go join that group and get the PDFs for the cards that you see here. And the best way I can tell you to do that, whatever the name of this video is, that is the name of the card that's in the file. So it's easier to find that way and you don't have to search a lot. So with all that being said, I'm going to turn you down to face down at my desk, and we're going to get started on our card. So let me turn you around. You're going to see my TV and stuff, and then we're going to just go up in the air a little bit. Turn around to my table. And there we go. Let me just make sure that my computer is up with that too, so that we have everything in place. And we do. So this is the PDF. It lists all of the card supplies that you need, plus the directions, and then you have pictures for visuals, because if you're like me, you like to have that visual. So we are going to do a lattice card today. It's called a crisscross lattice card. A friend of mine did one last week on her Facebook Live video, and I asked her if she cared if I did it. I'm going to do it. I switched it up a little bit. You know how we all take something and then have to put it to something how we like it and how we do things. So that's what I did. And I am, excuse me, I am showing you one that you can do. You can do it on colored cardstock. You can do it on white with a base. Now this is the same size as the base. It's a regular size card, card, when folded, it's 5.25, 5.5 by 4.25. That's what this is. This is done on the white piece. It's 5.25 by 4, just like your mat. And the only difference between the two cards is that I cut the lattice pieces the same size. That's no different. It's just different how I decorated. In this one, I did a circle behind it to where you could write your name and sign it. And this one, we just did a saying in there, and you could sign that in under the saying. So, these are both new stamp sets. It's coming out in our new catalog May 2nd. If you do not have a catalog or a demonstrator that gives one to you, let me know if you want one, and I'll get one out to you. So, anyway, what we're going to be using, and I can't quit yawning again. What we're going to be using is the Cheerful Daisies. That's going to be a new set that you're going to see in the new catalog come May 2nd. And we're going to use the dies. It's called Cheerful Daisies. And then these are the Cheerful Daisy dies. That one's on top. But it's all of these dies plus this one. And we are going to use the leaf and this and the daisy out of the dies today. But before we get started with any of our stamping, let me tell you, this set here came from Circle. It's called Circle Sayings. It's this right here, and that's what punched all that out. So you have all this that fits, and you have it that fits in the circle, and then you just punch it out. And then I just punched another circle to go in the inside. So that also will be coming out in the May 2nd catalog. Here's my host code. Here's my address to my store, which is ritaholmes.stampinup.net. Alrighty, let's get started. We are going to move this over and this over. And what we are going to use, that's a piece of 5.5 by 4.25 inch Lost Lagoon, which is a returning color to us. We're going to use thick basic white cardstock. That's 5.25 by 4. This was 5.25 by 4, but it's cut in half, and that's going to be doing my stamping and my die cutting. And these are 1/2 inch strips. You need 6 of them, and you need them to be about 8.5 inches long. You could have them longer. You don't want them too much shorter. You could go maybe 1/2 inch shorter if that. But anyway, we are going to be using this. Now I'm going to tell you how to do this card. We are going to take, I'm just going to stick it right here on my mat. Kind of holds it in place. I have a strip here that's kind of, it's got a jagged edge, and when you do that, I have it's actually a nail file that I just kind of burnish those edges off, because we need to do that. And there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to start on the right hand side. Look where we don't want that all in there. And I'm going to line this up with this corner, and I'm going to bring it down to, it's about 1.5 inches from this left side. And you can take a ruler if you want to. You can eyeball it, but I'll just show you when I measured it. I went 1.5 inches. So I'm going to push this over just a little bit to where this side of my strip at the bottom was at 1.5 inches. And I just did that to eyeball me a part of the card. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I don't need a whole lot up there, but I do need some. Okay, I'm going to bring in my next strip. Make sure I only have one. And I'm going to bring it on this card just to lay over that edge here. And then I'm going to put one in the center. So let's move that one over. And we have that one. I want to make sure we have room between them. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to set, as I move that, when I did that, didn't I? Shame on me. It keeps sticking to my fingers, which is just lovely. Bring this down a little bit. Bring that one over. And that one, that middle one just does not want it to cooperate with me, does it? Need to get this on here real quick to hold it down. And then I'm going to take a piece of, this is low tack. It's like painter's tape, but it's a low craft tape. I'm going to take me off a piece. I'm gonna stick it on my pant leg and just do that a couple times, and it gets that extra stickiness off. Because I want it to hold down my strips, but I don't want it to take the fibers off of my cardstock when I pull it back up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to put this right across here, okay? There we go. So now I can pick this up and I can turn it over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal and I'm just going to run this across this edge to make these stick. We're going to just pull them down. And if we want to, if you think you need to, you can trim these a little bit shorter if you got them too long, because we don't need them real long. Whoops. Let me put a little more tape on this one. Down here, I don't think I got enough. There we go. And if there's any little sticky left in between that, you can take your embossing buddy and just dab that, and it will make that not sticky anymore. We're going to turn this over, and that's where you get this little white piece. And I am just going to trim this right here along the edge of my cardstock. There we go. So we have that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I'm going to pull my tape off. I'm going to hold my, I don't want to pull them up. And I'm going to stick my tape back down on my pant leg because I'm going to use it again. That'll keep it from curling up so bad. What we're going to do, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to take and line one up and leave it about 1.5 inches from that side. And then we will put one over here on this side. Oh, before I do that, let's get these out of the way. Those can go out of the way for a minute. And let's because I thought that is in our way. We don't want that. And then one right here. And bring those down, so I don't have to cut them again. I tried to remember that, but if I don't, that's okay too. It's not like I can't. And we're going to put this one in the center. Lay my block down. Put that over there. I'll hold those down while I flip it. And you can also, I just turned the edges on the first one. You can also take the stylus with the small tip or your bone folder. I like using, if I do this part, I like using the stylus better than the bone folder, but that's personal preference. And then that way you have a scored line there that kind of helps you fold that over. I'll take my, oh, he came off. He's not supposed to do that. I'll fix that in a minute. I've never had that happen. First time for everything. Okay. Let's take and we'll put these over. I'm going to turn this back over, and before I take that tape off, let's do this. Let's add some more tape on there. You don't want to go all the way to the edge. That's, now I'll put that back on. And there we go. So now what we're going to do is take this tape off. And it just curls up. Just wants to curl. So we are going to, I always bring in my right ones back in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my block and I'm just going to set it on these ones on the right, because I'm going to be gluing the ones on the left with my glue. And I'm just putting a little dot down there where I can just, on each of the lattice pieces, and that will adhere these together. And one more. Whoops, knocked my glue over. I'm just going to set that for a second and let that take a hold. And then what we'll do, we'll bring in these two pieces. I'm going to stamp on one of them. And I'm going to use the new color, Lemon Lolly. It's the new yellow that'll be coming out May 2nd. Oh, I just got a piece of something in there. Glad I saw that. So I'm just going to stamp that. Make sure we get it all stamped. I'm going to bring in Lost Lagoon, and I'm going to add my leaves over here because we will be die cutting 2 leaves. And for the outline of the flower, I used the new Pebbled Path, which is kind of a grayish brown color, almost what a taupe color has in it. I got ink on my fingers. I got a green thumb. So let me get the outline of the stamp. Turn it around this way because I know that's the way I want it to go. And I'm going to line up, and I'm going to line up this little crooked leaf right here, petal, to this little petal. I think the wrong stamp. Started to say, that won't work, will it? That's what I get for having them all on a block already. Oh, let's ink this one. It'll work better. There we go. Now I can see. So we're going to line that up, and if my head is in the way, I'm sorry. Till I get it lined up, then I'll move it. Looks pretty good. So let's just go down. I hope it's a little off. I can see it. On this side it got a little off, but that's okay too. I've stamped several of these, and that's the first one I got off on. Always happens though, doesn't it? Always, always. Do I want to leave it like that? No, I think I'm going to turn it over and stamp it all again. I don't like it when it's that far off. Sometimes I'll let it go, sometimes I do not, and that just happens when you're live. So let's stamp this again. Do my 2 leaves. I might as well stamp them all on this side, since that way I can. There's our 2 leaves. Now we'll come back in with our, and try to line that up better. It's so hard when you're doing lives and you don't want your head in the camera, and but maybe if I stand up, I won't get my head so much in the camera. The glare of the light doesn't help. Okay. That looks better. There we go. We got it right on there. I'm going to leave this open a second because I'm going to use it. I got the Lost Lagoon ink all over it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the saying that goes on the inside, And it says, wishing you the brightest birthday. Now I got ink on my thumb. I don't know what I'm trying to do today. See how much ink I can get all over me, I guess. I'm going to put my index finger about where I want that stamp to be. I'm going to open that, move my finger, and stamp. Wishing you the brightest birthday. Whoops, and I got it out a little bit, but that's okay. I'll put the flower over that way, so it won't hurt. Okay, let's cut everything out, and then we'll just finish assembling that. I need to cut this off and cut my okay. Now I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to cut this. And we'll cut these. Then I'll hold that end one. Cut that one, hold the end one here. And there we have the front of that done. We're going to go ahead and mount that on our piece of Lost Lagoon. So let's do that. And I am just going to rub on this, kind of burnish it to that card piece. And there we go. That burnishes it down really well for us. Okay, let's bring in the die cut machine. As soon as I get all the stamps out of the way. Goodness gracious. We need to get some of this out of our way so we can have room. There we go. We'll bring in our 2 plates and the dies. And I'm going to use the leaf and this big flower. So let's put that down. We'll get our flower on there. We'll put this on one of the leaves. I think I just hit the flower. There we go. Let's get this on here. And I think that my leaf moved, but I can trim it. It did. So let's just take the paper snips and we'll trim this edge off right here. There we go. We have that. We have our flower. And then I'm going to cut out this other little leaf. And we'll use that again. So let's move this up a little bit with this. We'll put our leaf back here. with this. Let's cut those out. Get it over the hump there. Doing it one-handed, trying to keep my hand on that leaf. There we go. Here's our leaf. And our other leaf was there somewhere, and I didn't do such a hot job on that one either. Today must not be my day. But you know what? I'm just going to trim it. The die cut did the most of the work. And I can always trim it when I'm off, like that. And then we have one of these. And I just kind of wiggle that to get it loose. You don't want to tear it if you can help it. Just want to pull it out. And then we have two little pieces in here that always stay stuck in there, and you have to get them out. So we're going to do that one more time, and then we're going to put the card together. I love the daisies. Daisies are my favorite, so I really like this set. Well, there we go. And one little twig doesn't want to come out. What about that? There we go. Now I can pull the paper off. It was stubborn. That's not good. To be so stubborn. Little pieces of paper. Tends to go all over your floor and everywhere else that you don't want it. Happens all the time. All right, let's put the card together real quick. What we're going to do is I'm going to put a dimensional in the center of the card. And then I'm going to decide how I'm going to lay this, and it's going to be about like that. So I want to put these white pieces about like that. So what I'm going to do is turn those over. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to take a piece of Scotch tape and I'm going to tear it in half. And I'm going to hold this down with Scotch tape. Because that's so little to have to glue. And the tape will hold it. I'll pull this off. We will stick this on our card. And then I'll take the leaves and I'll add just a dab of glue to the back of it. And I'll do the same on this one. And I forgot to, we'll do that real quick. I'm going to take the pebbled path, bring in a piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to take that off a little bit and stamp that. There we go. All we're going to do now is add a couple embellishments and it will be done. I just dropped a block. These are some new embellishments. They're called adhesive back solid gems. And they come in lemon lolly, boho blue, and copper clay. So we're going to take, there we go. Didn't think I was going to be able to get it on my little tool. But it worked. I think I want it up here. There we go. So there's our card. Nice and done. Oops. So I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you try this card. It's a great card. And like I said, I have my PDF over at Stamp Crazy VIP on Facebook that you can go and print that off and make you a card. And I hope you do. I hope you try it. So until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye.